Welcome back to segment 2 of the Sports Circus. This segment is brought to you by Legal Shield, giving you protection for less than $1 a day whenever you need it. You never know. Maybe you like to talk on the phone and drive, text and drive. Maybe you've got a heavy foot. When's the last time you drove? Now, Alicia, I got to tell you this. When's the last time you drove down the freeway or highway or expressway, wherever you're at in America or around the world, and you did not exceed the speed limit? Come on, most people do it, right? So for less than $1 a day, you can have your prepaid legal team right at your side. It's well worth it. Give them a call at 213-245-1305. That's the folks at Legal Shield, 213-245-1305, or go to nocourt.us. What a great URL, nocourt.us. I mean, how could you forget that one? Seriously. So we certainly like nocourt.us. All right. So, Alicia, Clinton Portis, just like a lot of other athletes and a lot of other people around the country and around the world, have been duped out of their hard work, all of their hard work earnings, all of their dreams, right? They've come tumbling down because they'll focus their dream home, dream vacation, dream whatever around the dollars that they've spent a lifetime earning. Now, Clinton Portis only has, think about this, whether you're in the NBA, the WNBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, the NHL, whatever, you have a window to work within. That's it when you're on the court or on the field, right? My window was this, right? His window was this. Your window, it was your window. At the end of the day, right, at the end of the day, it's how do we manage our monies? And Clinton thought he was doing the right thing. And good for him for taking the high road and not causing any mayhem in the world. Because this is the guy that sets an example, especially coming from the University of Miami. I mean, this is an anomaly because they don't produce people with great attitudes when they've been burnt on something because they want that revenge, right? It is what it is, right? And we saw what happened with Ray Lewis. Right, exactly. I think Ray Lewis went there. Anyway, the point is, so Clinton Portis is an example. I'm going to try to get Clinton on the regular radio show that airs over the NBC Sports affiliates in Los Angeles and in Phoenix, also in Memphis, in New York, and also in Las Vegas on 670 The Score, and Time Warner Cable over in Honolulu. So, folks, we're literally all over the place, but this is a story that needs to go beyond just an article written from the Chicago Tribune, and good for them for writing a good article on Clinton Portis. But I would like to bring Clinton on it.
I take it back to when we talked many shows ago about these athletes having some type of mentorship or something when they come into the league, right. Because the NFL, they you have, how many cases have you heard where they're beating on their wives or their girlfriends, or they're in a club and they get into an altercation at a club and a gun comes out. These NFL players, these NBA players, and the ones that are especially in the spotlight for this, I feel like if they have some type of mentorship, financial advising when they come into the league, along with classes and how to deal with situations, because they're professional athletes. They're already targeted. So if you walk into a nightclub with your entourage, I can guarantee you if someone knows that you're making $60 million a year, they're already planning something to try to get in your pocket.
Right.
They might purposely start a fight because they know that you're going to punch
right.
them and then they're going to get paid $25 million. People have become smart to that. So for these athletes, it's about giving them some type of mentorship where they know how to put themselves in best situations. And then financially, yes, you feel sorry for the guy because he lost $43+ million for bad investments, but at the same time, how much did he lose on the houses, the 4 or 5 houses that he had? How much did he lose on the 5, 6 cars, or I don't know how many cars that he had? So if he probably would have spent his money wisely through mentorship and financial counseling,
right.
he may not be in this situation.
But think about this. So he's living in Northern Virginia today in a very humble 2-bedroom place. And, look, that's okay because he's not on the street causing trouble. This is a guy that
right.
knows how to lead. He's still leading. And luckily, he had good people around him to lead him in the positive direction instead of doing something bad. So he's doing something productive. I like that. He's an educated guy, and there are people that take that for granted. So imagine yourself in his position. Imagine the different options that are available, and what I mean by this is the investment options. So there are two individuals that I know that are from the NBA specifically that have very good programs for prospective, current, and post players, right? And they run investment groups. And I've been a part of this group now for quite some time. I'm not an NBA guy, but I'm on the business side. I was brought in for that. That's how I know a lot of these guys from basketball and pick your favorite sport. All right? So, and I've sat in these, and I've been a part of these. You know, there's $1 billion in the room. But it's all about relationships and background checks, and you're in there because you belong in there, not because you're going to take someone to the cleaners.
Yeah. Well, first off, I don't even have to imagine being there. I can guarantee you every WNBA player knows where this guy is at, because we don't get paid millions of dollars. We have to go overseas and work in the off season. So for us, it is, as a professional athlete, to be in his situation. You have female athletes that are in this situation year round, day to day, throughout their professional careers. So I'm glad that he's able to keep his feet up under him, and obviously he's made a name for himself, so it's not going to be the end for him. It's just a matter of where he wants to take it from here. Right.
Well, and he was a good leader on the field, and he's obviously leading now off the field. And with the 10-odd concussions that he has, I mean, there are so much concussion protocol attention. Now, listen to this. The NFL, just a couple of weeks ago, settled 2 of the concussion protocol lawsuits. And you know what I find interesting about this? Now, think about this. Now, when you played, pick your favorite team, whether it was the Liberty or the Storm or whatnot, or the Fever. All right, so for all those that don't know, again, this is Alicia Thompson, WNBA champion, Seattle Storm. We've had big ring, your championship banner on the screen. Exactly, you should be wearing it today. But we've given you the spotlight, and we want people to know your background. And it's very relevant for this discussion and other discussions, because being in the spotlight and not necessarily making a bunch of money, which is a whole nother discussion. We've gone through this one. The WNBA is literally 40 years behind the NBA today in the way their structure is. I mean, 40 years ago, those players were also working regular jobs in the off season, right? Same thing in baseball. Right. Even 30 years ago, players were working another job in the off season. They didn't make that much money. But the little bit of money you have, you've got to protect it. You've got to be smart. You're an educated woman. You're a Hall of Famer on top of it. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
And you're also, you have some aesthetic interest too. I see you have a painting behind you with a saxophone. Looks like a little jazz painting, right, on the stool. I see a trumpet there.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes. Well, I love music. I was a trombone player in high school. Many don't know that I was a 2-time state soloist in trombone, and 2-time state quartet player, or part of a quartet group. So, yes, love music, and learned how to play the piano when I was young, and still like to dibble and dabble in that occasionally. I haven't picked up my keyboard in a while, but I do like to play music.
So you went from dibbling and dabbling to dribbling.
Yeah.
And you were a shot putter.
It all at the same time.
And you were a shot putter and a discus thrower.
I was all over the place. I was a basketball player, then I went to track, and then I was in marching band, and then I was, student council and National Honor Society, because my mom, it was very important to make good grades in my household. So I wasn't the athlete that was just into sports. I had to be into my studies too, which is good. Well,
you were certainly a standout. I'll tell you, there are so many people that could look up to you for what you've done across the board. Maybe we'll talk about that for a few minutes on the other side, because you're so diversified. And of course, it is your big day, so happy birthday. All right, thank you very much. We'll pick this up in just a couple of minutes right here at the Sports Circus. See you in a minute.